All right, Julia, welcome back. Your pandemic break is over. Now you're back on fight week here at Bellator for Bellator 244.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be back?
It feels amazing. I'm so happy to be fighting again, and I'm looking forward to it.
For sure. And the last time we saw you, obviously, was a tough loss. You came out and spoke to the media afterwards. A true pro. You still fielded the questions, and you were a bit emotional. How long did it take you to kind of get over that loss, or have you not gotten over it yet?
You know what? I think it drives me. It went from being really disappointing to something that is motivating for me. You know what? When I could actually go back and look at it from a technical standpoint and where I made some errors and get better from that. So that is what I'd say that it took a little bit of time. You know, I had to kind of reevaluate and see what I wanted, and I just know that I want to get back in the cage as soon. I think I was messaging them like 2 weeks after, so it took me a little bit, and then after 2 weeks we checked out the footage, and I was like, okay, I see where I made some big mistakes that night and some little mistakes that cost me the loss, and and from here I look forward to getting in there and showcasing my skills.
Yeah, and do you feel like that it almost in the long term could be a good thing to kind of come in with a new motivation coming into this fight? It's I don't want to say champions get complacent ever. Obviously, you were very determined, but now it's kind of lit a new fire under you a little bit.
100%. I'm super motivated, when they called and told me, do you want to fight? I was like, absolutely. When is it? I didn't care the date. I didn't care the opponent. I was like, I'm ready to get back in there. So I'm excited, and I feel super blessed that Bellator is back in business.
Yeah, and you talk about you didn't care who it was. Were you hoping to kind of get an immediate rematch, being a long-term Bellator champ, or were you were you thinking that they would go with kind of a bounce-back fight like this one? What were you expecting?
They made it pretty clear the night of the fight that they wanted that who was next in line was Arlene, somebody that I've beaten twice, and they said that it was her next. So I kind of knew from the night of the fight that I wasn't going to be fighting her next, and now it's about me going out there and showing why I want to fight her, and getting back in there and showing what I can do.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously with the pandemic's kind of brought everything to a halt. Cris hasn't fought since then. You haven't fought. So, I mean, if you go out there and you win on Friday, do you think that could be next? Do you think a title shot could be? Do you think you still have to wait, or kind of what do you think?
Well, I never look past any opponent.
Sure.
You never underestimate anyone, and so I'm ready for Friday night, and I'm ready to go out there and put on an amazing show and showcase who I am as a mixed martial artist. And then from that, we'll see, what they decide. But with the statement that I plan on making, that'll be next.
What do you think about your opponent, Jessy Miele? Obviously, she pulled off a big upset in her Bellator debut. Have you watched some tape? Kind of, what are you expecting to see out of her?
Yeah, she actually on my birthday wrote, "Oh, I hope we fight." And so I was like, okay, it's probably, they first were thinking maybe Amanda Bell, maybe somebody else, somebody that was ready to go, because I know this is kind of interesting times to be training and getting ready. So some of the girls aren't ready right now, but so when they said her, I was like, oh yeah, she already kind of challenged me on my birthday, and I'm ready for her. So I watched her fight live here last year when we were here for Lance Gibson Jr.'s fight, and I never take anyone lightly. So I know what her skills are, and I know what her weaknesses are, and I plan on putting on a show and doing what I do best.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you. From your perspective, what do you think the game plan is for you without giving away too much? What should fans expect to see out of you on Friday?
Well, I'm very hungry and motivated for a win. So I'll be working to finish the fight and make it, as spectacular as possible from the first round to the third round. Whatever it takes, I'm going to be in there. So, I'm excited.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Lance Gibson Jr. He was supposed to be on this card, and obviously his fight fell off. So I think when we talked to him last time he was here, he was kind of like, as much as it would be cool, I kind of like fighting on different cards because we can focus on one person. So were you a little disappointed that he fell off? Were you kind of like relieved that you don't have to be stressed out about his fight and yours? Or
we were a little bit disappointed, but at the same time, we know he'll be right back in there, and it was cool to train together like we were both going to be fighting, and then kind of when it was just opponent change after opponent change and some stuff came up, we were like, okay, you're not going to fight, but I still want to fight. And especially with the quarantining and all that, we were like, we might as well do it together. We're going to be locked up, and we're each other's training partners, so it made sense at this time.
Yeah, for sure. Is he still going to be here, or did he?
Oh yeah, he's cornering me.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I wish you the best of luck on Friday, and appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julia.
You.